Did you know that inside your brain there are two systems that control your thoughts, feelings and actions? One of those is the chimp brain and the other is the human brain. Now let's take a look to see the differences between the two.
The chimp brain is based on fast-acting survival mode, responsible for our fight, flight and freeze instincts. That sounds a lot like those emotional deregulation, procrastination and avoidance challenges I often get with my ADHD. The human brain is slow, deliberate and analytical. It has evolved to be great at planning, prioritization and self-control. That sounds a lot like those executive functions that I find it hard to do for any length of time. So who is in charge of my brain when I'm trying to go about my day and face all of these challenges? Only one of them can be in charge at any one time, and a lot of that can depend on fuel. You see, the chimp brain doesn't need a lot of fuel and can keep going all day, as if on autopilot, because it can rely on those instincts and learned habits. The slow brain, however, it requires a lot of fuel because of all that mentally taxing cognition it's doing. We all have a limited amount of fuel each day to power our human brain. But like a leaky bucket, it drains as the day goes on. When a neurotypical brain needs to refuel, it has access to plenty of dopamine receptors to fill it back up. An ADHD brain, however, has fewer dopamine receptors and struggles to get the fuel it needs to power the slow human brain. The result is, the ADHD brain spends more time with the chimp in charge, more often with their management style. This can often lead to a survival mode of procrastination, avoidance, and protecting us from failure. Imagine you are happily driving along to reach your destination, when all of a sudden your empty fuel light turns on. You begin frantically looking for a new route to try and find some fuel. This is what is constantly happening inside the ADHD brain. The fuel light is going off and the brain is looking for new and novel things to fuel it with dopamine. This can result in us getting distracted and never reaching our goals.
So, how can we manage this situation better? We can take two forms of action. Maintenance action.
These are daily habits to support good brain chemistry and a slow release of dopamine, preventing spikes and crashes.
Or navigation action.
Visual tools and frameworks like the ADHD canvas and the UNPAR framework that help to get our thoughts out of our head so that we can organise them and take action.
If you would like to know more, you can take my free course, Understanding and Managing Your ADHD. And hopefully we'll get these guys under control.